Hello, I'm Dorothy. I'm 82 years old and I just love to bake. And today I thought I would bake white chocolate chip apricot cookies, which I think are really great and everybody likes them. And so this is what we'll do today.
So this is like a step up from the usual chocolate chip cookie, right?
Most definitely.
All right, let's tell me about your apron. What's special about it?
It's special because it's Scottish, and I really like it. It's got nice pockets in it, and it's really nice.
And you've kind of found it has a bit of a special power, right?
Exactly. The more I use it, the better the baking.
So Dorothy, why don't you go through what the ingredients are for these magical cookies?
Okay. They're half a cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, half a cup of brown sugar, 1 large egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, half a teaspoon of baking soda, a quarter cup, a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of dried apricots chopped, and 1 cup of the chocolate chips.
And those would be the chocolate chips.
Exactly.
Which I think are the best part.
Yes.
Okay, so you've had to set the oven at a certain temperature?
350.
Great. And then, take us through the steps of how you make these.
Okay, it's half a cup of butter, and then put it in the bowl, and you have to get it really soft. It's at room temperature, so it's much easier to work with.
That is a really good tip, right, is to have your butter at room temperature, right?
Yes, for sure. If you don't, it's not going to work so well. Okay, and then half a cup of brown sugar goes in with the butter. And then you have to mix these together so they're nice and creamy.
And when do you know that you've mixed it enough?
When you don't see the butter, just see the brown sugar. And it's nice and pliable. Okay.
All right, and then next
Then
step?
we put in 1 egg. And I don't like to hit it on the side of the bowl. For me, it's not that easy, so I use a knife and just crack it open like this.
But you just have to be careful of the blade of the knife.
Yes, but you be very careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes in there. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then beat this up. To make sure it's really blended. And then we put in 1 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and I just use a measurement of my hand. It's only a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I like to just fluff it up a bit with a fork, just to make sure it's all so it's blended. And all this goes into here, into the batter. And then it's going to be a little bit stiff, but not too bad.
Right. And you get a great big right bicep after you're done, right?
Yes. But I find baking relaxing.
So when people taste these white chocolate apricot cookies, normally what kind of reaction do you get?
You say, oh, do I ever like these? Wow. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like them. So that's...
And when did you first come across the recipe?
Oh, about 3 years ago. Now I put in the apricots and the white chocolate. Then you mix it all up. Make sure it's really blended so the apricot, you don't get too many apricots and not enough chocolate.
And this is where you really have to put some oomph into it, right?
Oh yes. It's good for my arms. Okay, so then after that, put these away.
And then next it's time to scoop out the batter, right?
Yes, and what I do is, it says to put it on an ungreased baking sheet, but I prefer using parchment paper. It doesn't stick so much. So that's what I use. And then I have a cookie scoop.
Now that's an invaluable tool.
It really is. It's really great for getting uniform cookies. So,
Okay.
just do this.
Show us how to scoop out one, and then we'll let you do the rest.
There.
Right? And what size of scoop is that? It looks like about an inch.
Yeah, I would say a tablespoon. I would say that's a tablespoon. So now we're ready to put them in the oven. And they stay in the oven for 10 minutes until you see brown around the edge. And I already have a batch made, a small batch, but this is what they look like.
Yum. So really you don't have to stick with apricots for these if you don't want to, right?
No, you could use dried cranberries. You could even use nuts. Any dried kind of fruit that would work. And you could maybe change the white chocolate to toffee bits if you want to do that too. It's a very versatile cookie, I think.
Well, you know what? I can't stand it anymore. I gotta try one. Mmm, really good.